Welcome back to the Icon Show, the space where we go behind the brand, behind the breakthroughs, and deep into the identity of women who didn't just build success, they became the women who can hold it. I'm your host, Jordan Lene, and today's episode is powerful in a way that we don't just talk about enough because we really talk about being visible and we talk about being seen. And we don't talk about what supports it, what actually makes a woman undeniable before she ever opens her mouth. And today we are going there. We are sitting down with an incredible woman, Bria Johnson, a woman whose work lives at the intersection of identity, image, and influence. And she really helps high caliber women bring their external presence into alignment with who they are becoming internally. She is the creator of the I.C.O.N.I.C framework, and she teaches what she calls the embodiment gap. That space where your growth has expanded, but your image hasn't caught up yet. Bria, we would love to welcome you to the show, and we are so honored to have you here today with us. I would
Thank
love, yes, I'm so excited to have you here, even with all the technical difficulties right in the
Yes, we
beginning,
made it. We made
talking
it.
about all the things and
Yes.
what it really takes to be iconic, stepping into doing the thing.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited to be here with another icon. And so it's going to be a fabulous discussion.
This is going to be so good. So, we love getting started with what was one of the major life changes or challenges that you walked through, and how did it really shift your path as being an entrepreneur, as getting started as an entrepreneur?
It's so funny because I feel like there was never one like main event. It's like there's all these little things that pile up, and
Mhm.
you wake up one day, you're like, you know what, I'm just done. I'm not doing what society told me to do. I'm doing what I was called to do, what I lived to
Mhm.
do. But this, and I'm sure you will agree with me too, when you look back on your life, you realize all of your experiences have led up to this moment. So, for people who have heard me speak before, this idea of iconic with style really, it was kind of like my birthright in a way, because when I think about how I grew up, we didn't grow up with we were poor. I'm not ashamed of that,
Yes.
and we didn't grow up with a lot of money. But my family, specifically my Nana, who is still alive, and she's
Oh.
fabulous. I hope you meet her one
Mhm.
day. She taught me and my siblings that, your wardrobe it's not fashion, it's not trends. What it is a moment to introduce yourself, and it doesn't have to be about your current circumstances that you're in, but the potential that you have. And so that is really the foundation of Iconic with Style, which, by the way, because people don't realize it's an acronym, Iconic stands for I can overcome new issues and challenges with style. And that is really born and birthed from that lesson that my Nana taught me so long
Mm.
ago.
Oh my goodness. And we love Nanas.
Love
Going
Nana.
there, we love
And
Nanas.
my siblings might agree, and they'll hear this. I think I'm the favorite. I'm the oldest grandchild, and it is what it is.
Yes. Gotta have the favorite. Yes.
Yes,
And learning all the things. So you were the oldest. And so setting that foundation for everything. And it comes back
huge.
forward
I'm,
from the
it's
wisdom.
huge.
Mm.
Absolutely. Like when I think about being the oldest, it's really it's a blessing, because I
Mhm.
was also, I feel like, the test baby, and I had to set the standard. But
Mhm.
when I tell you, I still also learn so much from my siblings, and they really teach me how to be a better person. And because I don't really have anyone to look up to, right? Because I didn't have an
Yes.
older sibling, but I
Mhm.
still learn so much for them. And so, yeah, it is a blessing to be the oldest.
It truly is. Yes. Completely relate.
Are you the
And
oldest
oh
too?
yeah, I am the oldest. Yes. And I
I
do have a
love that.
Nana. My mom is Nana. So I absolutely love that.
Yeah,
Going through the journey and the path and really setting the pave way for generations that are walking behind
absolutely.
us and being
That's
that
what it's
icon.
about.
It truly is. So
Yes.
I absolutely love it. It's so powerful because that the identity before any of the strategies, before any of the pathways that are laid out in front of us,
Start
powerful.
with the family. Yeah,
Starts
I
with
mean that's
family.
and I think going back to like that being the foundation of iconic, right? It was like a lot you get taught about, you know, the world and society and how people will treat you. But what always really grounded me was my wardrobe because I just knew when it didn't matter where I came from, it mattered where I was today and where I was going. When I wore something that aligned with that, it was always just so powerful. I didn't even need to say anything. Like people just knew I meant business. And so now I have to carry that forward, not only as an older sibling, but also with the women that I work with, because they're stepping into leadership, C-suite roles, scaling businesses, and they want to make sure that their image is speaking before, as soon as they walk into the room, because people, you know, make assessments about you, right? Because we're
Mhm.
visual beings.
Oh my gosh, that is so powerful that you bring that up. And that was a huge shift that I personally had in my life with my wardrobe. You know, when we feel so beautiful in what we wear, what you teach, it's being in that icon era, it's being in your billion-dollar vision. It's
Uh,
the gateway to
Yes,
every
that you said
beautiful.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that you spoke about the vision because I was actually, you know, I was talking about imposter syndrome, right? We all
Mhm.
go through this when we feel like we've imposters. I've been there before. And I said, you know, we do the affirmations, we have the vision boards, we do all the things. The thing about your wardrobe though is that it is literally the first piece of physical evidence that you are living your vision, and that is going to calm, and you will ignore that imposter syndrome because you're physically seeing it, right?
Ooh.
You have to get dressed every day. That's the thing. Like some
Yes.
days, you know, Jordan, I'm sure you might skip your affirmations one day, you might skip your, but you got to put clothes on unless you want to go to prison, you
Yeah.
know.
Yes.
So you gotta
Oh gosh.
yeah.
Yes. And the way that you stand for yourself. So that's big. I'm so happy you brought that up because it's such a big one to really dial in on. We can get dressed or we can stay in our pajamas all day. And how does that really make you feel?
I mean, you know, there was actually research done on this, and it's called enclosed cognition. And enclosed cognition is the idea that what you wear just doesn't affect how you look, it affects how you think, feel, and perform. And so if you know pajamas are to sleep, are you really going to want to show up your best self in alignment? You know, because you're sending signals to your wardrobe is sending signals in two directions, right? Outward to the world around you, because people are making visual assessments. And then when you think about enclosed cognition, internally to yourself. So, what is the
Mhm.
message that you want to be consistently sending to yourself? And that goes back to why I say the wardrobe is physical evidence of your vision, and it is calming that imposter syndrome because you are unsubconsciously talking to yourself with the clothes you
Mm.
put on your body.
Amen to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amen to that. I would love, so how did you all get started in this?
Yeah, I know. Like how did it even
Yeah,
happen?
how did
So
this happen? I mean, this is your true
I
calling, and
know.
I absolutely love the power that you are sharing with so many women all over the world. This is
Yeah.
complete fire.
I love it. And I think it's so, and I'll talk about how I got into it, but I think it's such an underestimated strategy that people
Mm,
don't think about, right? And
yes.
so, you know, how I got into this. So let me be clear,
Yes.
right? Although now I support women, of course, with leveraging their wardrobe to be strategic nonverbal communication because it is.
Yes.
But how I got into this started with, I think, any other type of what you will call typical fashionista. I love putting an outfit together. That is just what I love to do. And that is where it started. I just like always looked put together. And
Mhm.
then my friends always asked me, can you help me put clothes on?
Yes.
So then, not put the clothes on, geez, but put the outfit together. Y'all
Yes.
know what I
Yes.
mean.
What you meant. Yes. I knew where you were going.
Over time, what I realized was that when people, because people will say, oh, I saw this outfit or I saw somebody wear this, but they tried to put it on and it did not fit them. And I was like,
Mm.
well, because on your, who are you? Who is your identity? right? Also, what is your silhouette? What is your body shape? What is the respect you're trying to command from the environment? And then I
Mm.
learned this just through experience, like, oh no, this is a true strategic framework here that I have. And again, going back to those experiences, like there's never one moment. I was also in pageants, right? For
How
nearly 18
amazing.
years.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, and people, think, oh, it's about beauty and performance. What it really is an environment where you're constantly being evaluated before you speak. So marrying that experience with I naturally am good at, I have an eye in mirroring people's vision of themselves and putting clothes together, it really birthed this idea like, oh no, I was doing this on the side. Let me start this business. And so that is how that happened with those different
Oh,
experiences.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so powerful. And what a gift to have that and be able to there's so many women that have a hard time with putting that all together. And when you have that all together, how on top of the world do you feel when you feel so beautiful in your clothes? And when
And
you
it's
feel
yeah.
and walk in the room, like you have the room turning their heads.
Yeah, exactly. And you're sending the
Mm.
message you intend to send, right? Like, most of the women I work with too, of course, they know they don't they don't have a problem necessarily getting dressed.
Yes.
It's they're having a
Mm.
roadblock with people are not receiving me how I intended. And so again, it goes back to that nonverbal communication. What message is your wardrobe sending when you walk into that room? And that's what I'm really working with people.
Powerful. So powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's pure power to put all of that together and that the identity.
It's
Identity
everything.
is like number one on everything. And when you master that with the iconic style,
I mean, iconic,
icon,
right? And like that's
iconic.
why to that point, the identity and the image align, and that's why I say it's identity, image, and influence aligned, because when that identity and image are aligned, your influence becomes undeniable because now you are fully embodying who
Mm.
you are internally, now projecting that externally. I mean, it's a powerful place to be.
It truthfully is. Yes. It's the embodiment work and then having the iconic. So good.
Yes.
So, kind of getting into the visibility, and talking about the iconic, and you talked about where this all resonated and realized that this is your true calling. This is your gift that you're giving
Yeah.
to so many women and probably men too, because men want to feel iconic.
They do, but they're mad at me because I'm not serving them. They're like, why are
Oh,
you
shoot.
doing this for
Yeah.
me? I'm like, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Stay
always so
tuned. Yeah, stay tuned. Dot dot.
so amazing. So earlier in your career, let's go back to what you were doing,
Yeah.
what really shifted you into realizing that you have this and
Yeah.
people need this. Where
Yeah.
were you at that time?
So yeah, my background is and again, it's just like experiences freaking aligned. I'll say this, trust the messy middle because you'll just
Mm.
realize that everything you were doing, there's a reason, even if it doesn't seem like a reason at the time.
Yes.
And so I would say my corporate background is in recruiting, onboarding, and compliance. And when you think about recruitment, right, you have to show up for interviews to get a job. It was just so aligned with what I
Mhm.
was doing and I didn't even realize it. And
Mm.
so I tell this story too a lot. I'll call it my first big girl job. I was like 2 years out of college and I managed people before, but never in an environment, not in a corporate setting. And I was managing people who were the same age as me and older than me. And I swear to you, like 16 years old. Like people are like, I felt like people were like, who is this baby and why is she managing me? You know, what I was realizing in myself was I'm like, I had that imposter syndrome. I'm like, should I even be here? People are the same age, they're older than
Mhm.
me. But obviously I was supposed to be there, right? Like they hired me for a reason. But I felt this like negative self talk that people are treating me like a child.
Yes.
And what I realized was going back to your girl love a cute outfit. I could always put an outfit together, but the image I was projecting was one that you could be a friend of Bria versus one that someone would follow. So in that moment, I realized there was again that disconnect, which is what I call the embodiment gap. It's like internally I had grew and evolved and shifted, but my image was still reflecting like college, you know, not a lot of money trying to get it
Yeah.
through. And once I elevated my look to be one of a leader, people responded differently to myself. I had different level of confidence and it allowed people to respond to me differently. And so that was really like, I would say, the foundation of this recruitment, onboarding, compliance background, mirroring it with, you know, my image and figuring out my framework and what people are really experiencing. And yeah, I would say that was my background when I first started.
Oh my gosh, this is so good.
Yes.
This is so good. And truthfully, because what you just spoke about being, I used to always get the comment, oh, you're so young.
Yeah.
You're so young. And we still get that, even though,
Still,
kids are
today.
completely grown up. It's always, you're so
It's,
young.
and when I tell you, Jordan, how I've had to, like, some things you just have to try to, it used to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
such a pet peeve. Like
Yes.
when people called me kiddo,
My
do
gosh.
not.
My gosh.
And you know, people,
Yeah.
I was like,
Don't
I
go
appreciate.
there.
I'm like, thank you so much, family, for these lovely genes that you have
Mhm.
given me for me to
Yeah.
look so young. And
Yeah.
also, I hate this. And so
Yeah.
then when I started, and that's what I'm saying, like I shifted to that, and I still do get I look young,
Yes.
but now with how I am more solidified and confident with myself and how I present myself externally, I don't get treated like a child like I used to.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a
It
thing.
is a thing. It is a thing. And that just came so powerfully when you were sharing that because it used to be a thing where it would bother me, but having the tools to be able to
There you go.
shift out of that
Yep,
and not allow and just say thank you. It's such a
that's it.
big
Thank you so
thank you
much.
because it is a big thing to
It
look
is.
young and to
It
have these
is.
genes.
It is.
But at the
Yeah.
time, especially in your corporate world, when
Well,
you have all of that, or being a leader and having, um, different age ranges in your community.
yes, and which it like was why I knew I needed to pivot how I was visually
Mhm.
showing up to, right? And then when that pivot, it was a complete, it was a change. People were like, "Oh, okay, I see why they hired you," right? And I
Yeah.
had to remind myself they did hire me for this, so
Mhm.
obviously I'm accomplished and I could do this. You know, they believed in me, and so yeah, it was a shift for sure.
Oh my gosh. And it's such a good, I'm so happy you brought that up because
Yeah,
it's such a good shift to really step into.
absolutely.
So during starting your business and all of the things, what are some tools that you used during the messy middles?
Yeah.
What was
I will
something that you used to really shift?
I would say community is huge. Because when
Mm,
you think about tools, of course, they're like technology tools, which I will come back to. But I
yes.
also think a underrated tool in your toolbox is community. And people you surround yourself by really will either propel you or bring you back 2 steps. And I was very blessed and still am to have friends that they started their business. And we were just because I think I was going through a venture where I was really interested in real estate, which I still am. I love real
Yes.
estate. That's a
Yes.
topic for another
Investments.
day.
Yes.
Yes. Well, that's the
We'll have
point. It's
to
like,
bring you back on and go
yeah, that's
there.
now
Yeah.
that is truly that part is about the money. It's like,
Yes,
but
yes.
when I first learned about real estate, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this full time, but I
Mhm.
couldn't stand it
Um,
because it wasn't my calling. It has its place, but it wasn't the calling, something I'm supposed to be doing full time. And so one of the tools in my toolkit is going back to that community, because people will ask you again, well, Bria, like, you're really good at this. Why aren't you doing this? And that shift makes you realize, like, it's true. I'm already doing it on the side. I do it for free sometimes, right? With friends and family. This is my calling. And so I will say one of the best tools in my toolkit is just being surrounded by people who are far ahead of me in life and journey and just learning and soaking up that wisdom. So I would say that is definitely one tool for sure. And another one that I swear by, and I read the book probably now, maybe going on 7 years ago, maybe, The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. Have you read that?
oh my gosh, I haven't. Yeah.
Oh, I'm obsessed. So
You're like, I read it once a
yeah, right,
year.
right.
You
So
always learn something new.
he talks about this routine called savers, which is an acronym for these practices you do in the morning. So S is for silence or prayer, A is for affirmations, B is for visualization, E is for exercise, which I'm not as consistent in. R is for reading, and then S is for scribing. And so these practices, I do majority of them consistently, really do support my mindset and making sure that, yeah, that again, I'm just mentally healthy and physically healthy too. And I will say that is another tool that is part of my toolkit in that messy middle. Yeah.
And that is such a powerful tool to have to get out of bed and to do those things and have that
Huge.
routine is really right. It's what gets you motivated for the day. It's what starts all the things and
And
having
I
those
will say,
habits.
yeah. I mean, and it gives you time to work on yourself, right? I would say, especially women too, we wake up and we pour into so many other people. And so just to take an hour to pour into yourself is amazing and needed.
It's so powerful. It's
Yeah.
the work. And, talking about the iconic with style, it also comes back to the inner work.
Always.
And having those tools to do that in the morning, having your alone time to empower
Absolutely.
yourself. I think that's so beautiful. And going deeper into that, what inner work has really shaped the most of who you are today?
That is such a good question. I mean, so much inner work. Like, it's never done.
It's never done.
It's never done.
It's
It's still
never done.
growing.
Yeah.
There's some, I will say, what makes me do, there has been a lot of inner work, and I'm a huge fan of therapy. I mean, I am. So I definitely recommend,
Yeah.
healing whatever you need to heal, growing from whatever you need to grow from. So I'm a big component of that inner work. And then going back to just, I feel like relationships also push you and make you do inner work as well too. Like this year I've been married for 9 years. Again, being the
Yeah.
older sibling, all those things help me do inner work because there are relationships that I really care about and you have to nurture. And so those relationships also help me with my clients because, as you know, when you work with many different people. And so it's important to make sure that you are able to connect with different people because again, we're all just different. And so I will say the relationships that I have plus therapy, I do all that inner work, plus my morning routine, right? The journaling, the affirmations, all that.
I'm so
Yeah.
happy you brought up the relationships because relationships are huge. And you talked about community and getting in the room.
Yes.
Um, and then also having so many different personalities being in therapy. I heard that saying one time, and it's like if you don't have therapy, then you're not growing because therapy
Yeah.
really levels you to the next level because there's a lot of things that us as entrepreneurs, us as humans, we don't physically see, but that they open our eyes so much bigger.
Absolutely.
Relationships, it's pretty much, it's so funny. It's partnerships, husbands, it's dating, it's
It's all
in
of
and
it.
out of, it's
Yes.
leveling up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think when you take that time, and that's why because people have this misconception that all stylists do the same thing,
Mm,
right? And so some people come to me like, oh, can you get me dressed for this one event? And I'm
mm,
like, I actually do not do one-off events. My service is more comprehensive. And the reason why because your identity is very complex and nuanced.
mm.
And for me to do my best work is to make sure that I understand you as a person and all of your facets of life
Yeah.
and your rooms that you're going to be in. So it all does go back truly to that inner work, even in my work, because that is truly the foundation to ensure that a woman has a full comprehensive wardrobe that is communicating her identity, no matter what space she is in, no matter what relationship, let it be the marriage relationship, the work relationship, right? Her identity should show through in all of those spaces.
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
absolutely love how identity is such a big foundation of what you're doing also.
Yeah,
Yes, it is about the style, but it really comes to the identity.
it does. It
Everything.
does. People ask me, I get this question sometimes. Like I was talking to this group of women who are looking for board seats.
Ooh.
And I got a question about what nail polish color should we not wear? And I'm
Mm,
like, well, this is the thing. I need to know more about you and the room you're going into,
mm.
right? Because it's like, people think it's just this one color that does this thing.
Yes.
But how you show up for, I don't know, a creative space is going to be different than how you show up for a more, solemn kind of space, right? Like there's these different spaces that you have to show up for. And so there's never just one answer that works for every single person, ever.
Gosh, this is so
Yeah.
good. It really is
Yeah.
making myself think about all
Yeah.
these different things because even with the nails right now, yes, need them done. It
Me
is
too.
interesting that that's such a good point.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
good. Yes. What
Yeah.
feels, it brings back to what makes you feel the most empowered
There you go.
around the identity too. So going into really big rooms, billionaires and millionaires, what makes you feel the most on top of the world?
Exactly. Exactly. What makes you feel on top of the world? And then also what is that context of that room you're going into as
Ooh,
well, right? So like and sometimes people think those things have to be in conflict, but they don't. I really believe style, there's two sides of that coin. There's that self-expression piece, which comes back to your identity. And then there's that piece about what level of respect are you trying to command from the room.
mm,
People think they have to be in conflict, but they do not. And that is where I feel in that gap.
such a huge gap.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
is
Yeah,
such a huge gap to be
yeah.
filled. Um, and looking at those aspects in a different way, I guess a lot of what you're sharing, I've never looked at those in that way.
What
So it's so powerful.
and honestly, most people haven't.
Mhm.
That's okay. Like that's where and like people are like, oh, someone does this. Yes, someone I
Mhm.
do this. And
Yeah.
so people don't realize that their wardrobe is communicating. I mean,
Mhm.
I think people in general get the idea, right? Like, oh, your first impression is important.
Mhm.
But again, it's like when you think about, oh, my wardrobe has been sending these cues, and if you don't know what cue sends what or how or what people are reading,
Yes,
people aren't taught that. And so it's a very underestimated way to communicate with people.
but big, but
Yeah.
big, big.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh
Power. I
my
mean,
goodness.
because I'm sure when I came on here, or even when you make assumptions, not maliciously either, it's just instinctively, like we are processing, interpreting visual cues. And so don't you want to make sure yours is saying the right thing?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes, on top of all the things. Yes, so good. And we've been in the inner work, we've been in the getting in the rooms and
yeah.
dialing into the style and the identity. A lot of times we want to be in that identity, being in the style, being in that.
Yeah. I mean, and style is just the way that I communicate the identity, right? And so when I'm working with my clients, is we always like, again, identity is foundation. And
Mm,
then after we realize what that means, it's like we have to go into your closet and release what needs to be released and we keep what needs to be kept, then we fill in the gaps. And so we have to find those pieces that are going to be communicating exactly the message that you want to send.
It's so good.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
love it.
good. It
I
is
love
so
it.
good. And it's interesting because having you on the show, I'm thinking about all the things. Okay, well, naturally, sometimes we can naturally kind of do those, but we don't take that into consideration. For you to be speaking this, it's like, okay, that is something that is so powerful to do what would you say, how
Well,
often? Yeah.
this is I feel like people go through transitions like every 7 to 10 years. There's
Oh,
this moment,
yes.
this is the moment that we
Yes.
all go through. We've been
Yes.
there. I've been there. You're
Yes.
staring at your closet. You're staring at a wardrobe full of clothes, and
Yes.
you say, "I have nothing to wear."
Yes.
That is your first data point that the woman you become is not in that closet anymore. And
Mhm.
what I realized, and that's why my services are comprehensive, because again, that it comes, sometimes it comes faster for people, maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
But when I'm working with folks, it's the entire wardrobe because you're going to be in this space for a while, but it comes back up again where you need a refresh. Right. And of course, some people are, it might happen faster for them, but I will really say that 7 to 10 year mark is when you're really feeling that, ooh, this is not me anymore at this point. Yeah.
So interesting. Yes, I am definitely there right now
Yeah.
in this moment. Not gonna lie, I'm definitely there right now. It's so huge because,
Yeah.
gosh, have so many clothes and nothing. Yeah, it's
Nothing.
interesting. And
Yeah.
we're constantly becoming, but
Constantly.
you bringing up the 5 to 7 years, that really is a big, huge marker
Yeah.
to
Yeah. I
dial in.
mean, when you think about it too, right? Like think about it's like that major shift because
Mhm,
of course you're changing in between that time period, but
mhm.
then like you talked about, what was that one moment? There is not one moment. There's just these little moments that happen over these 7 to 10 years. You're like, I am done. I don't know. I'm in this new space. I'm in this new place. It's time to move forward. And so yeah, it happens a little bit over
Yes.
that time, but it's like that realization moment is right like
Mm.
that time frame.
So powerful.
I love
It's
it.
so embodying and it's so powerful. Exactly what you're sharing right now. Being fully seen in the present moment in your style, your identity.
Absolutely. And that's what I would say too to your, the listeners who listen to this. You might be feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm experiencing again what I call that embodiment gap. You've evolved internally, but there's a
Mhm.
disconnect into how you're presenting to the world. And if you are feeling that, if that resonates with you, there's no judgment. It's just a data point that you have evolved and your image is
Mhm.
ready to evolve with you. And so if you are there, definitely connect with me. I mean, we're both, Jordan and I are both icons. So message me the word icon,
And we will
and
drop that link below the show
perfect.
notes.
Okay, great.
So
Yeah,
yes, we will definitely drop all of the contact information because you
that is
definitely
great.
want to get into touch with
Conversion.
Iconic. Yes. And I think we
Absolutely.
also have some really exciting something coming in store. So
Yes,
powerful. And
absolutely.
also leaving the women with, or women and men, because also men tune into this show.
Yes.
One something powerful that you would love to leave with them.
Yes, the person you are today has a look. So stop dressing like the one who was surviving. And it's important because you deserve to be seen as who you are now and not who you had to be to get there. Um, and that's what I would like to leave with everybody.
Oh my gosh, so powerful, the surviving. That's so good. And the hustle and the doing. And
Yes, the doing.
yes, we're called to do, but that's also the survival. So thank you so much for leaving everybody with that today. We are going to drop all of the links below this show and really want to dial in. The woman that you're becoming has a look And at some point, you have to stop dressing like that version of you who was surviving. Bringing that up today was so powerful
Take
and
it
so
away.
good.
Absolutely. Thank you
Yeah.
for having me, Jordan.
Yes,
This was
thank
great.
thank you again so much for joining today. What an honor having you on. And this is really such a powerful reminder that being seen isn't about doing more. It's about becoming more aligned with who you already are. Because when alignment is there, you don't have to force your visibility. It just happens. And
Yes.
if this conversation really activated something in you, and you felt that gap between who you are and how you are being seen, this is your invitation to join us inside the room. And we will see you on the next episode. Again, thank you so much for being here. Such an
Yeah.
honor. The
Thank you.
icon, the iconic, and
Yes.
so
Thank
much love.
you. It was great. It was meant to be and we did it. Thank you.